So many of you at home have a laptop or a desktop sitting around not being used a majority of the day, other than when you're doing schoolwork or maybe in the evening when you're playing video games. So what if you can put that laptop or desktop to work, earning you some Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency when it's just sitting around doing absolutely nothing? So in today's video, I'm going to show you step by step from start to finish how to set up your home laptop or desktop to earn you some crypto on the side. So this here is my son's computer, and it's nothing too crazy. Has a 4060 in it, a little custom rig that I did build for him. And most of the time, this computer sits around doing nothing. Every once in a while, used for homework or assignments or looking things up online or for playing video games. So I thought this would be a perfect example of something that you guys may have at home. All right, so I'm logged into the computer and I'm going to go ahead and go to Unmineable. You can go to unmineable.com or type it into your search bar. Just make sure it is unmineable.com here with their link and go ahead and click on it. Once you're here, if you prefer dark mode, there is a gear up here at the top that you can go ahead and change it over to dark mode if you're interested. And once you're over here, first thing we're going to do is sign in. Now, you don't actually create an account. You just use your email address as an account manager here. So I'll show you. So click sign in top right and just put in your email address. You don't have to create a password or anything like that. So I'm going to put in my email address, thehobbyistminer@gmail.com, and then click receive a code. You're going to receive a code in your email address. Come on over and you'll put that directly in the field that you guys see in front of you. Huge shout out to today's video sponsor, CryptoMinerBros.com. If you guys are in the market for your next ASIC miner, take a look over at Crypto Miner Bros. Now, right now, they got some great deals going on their website. Some miners that I'm absolutely interested in, the BitAxe Gamma 601, the brand new Nerd Miner OctaAxe. They also have the upcoming Flu Miner L3 Dogecoin miner and the new Flu Miner T3 Home Bitcoin miner. Listen, at the time of checkout, use the checkout code TheHobbyistMiner. It'll save you $70 off each individual ASIC. Guys, go over, check out today's video sponsor, CryptoMinerBros.com. Link directly down below in the video description. All right, so my code is 766451. I'm going to put that in, and it's going to go ahead and bring us in here. Now, it's going to walk us through, and feel free to run through this on your own. You could pause the video, but it's going to walk you through navigating this. So here is where we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is the dashboard, and the nice thing is if you want to follow along with this when you're at school or at work, there's actually an app. So if you go up here to app, and then you can actually download it on the Apple Play Store or on the Android store. And the nice thing is then you just use your email address, same thing we just did here, and you can keep up with your rig or rigs. And also you can change your distributions of what coins you want to get paid out with on the fly if you're interested. So let's go ahead and click get started up top. And this is where we're going to go ahead and download Unmineable. That is the program that we'll be using today. It'll utilize your computer's CPU or GPU or both at the exact same time to earn you a little bit of cryptocurrency. And you can see here, get rewarded in as many as 80 different cryptocurrencies out there. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to left click on it, and it's going to begin the download process. We can actually see it up here in the upper right hand corner, and we'll wait for that to finish. All right, so next thing we're going to do is create a folder on the desktop called Unmineable, and this will make sense here in a minute, but let's go ahead and do that, and we're just going to put that here because we're going to keep that here more long term. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off some Windows 11 virus protections. We're going to turn them back on just for the initial install because it does create a problem. So we're going to click the Windows key at the bottom, and you can actually just start to type in the word security, and Windows security is going to come up here. And we're going to turn off a few things, but then we're going to come back in later, turn them back on, and then we're also going to come back in and we're going to add some exceptions in there. So don't get overly concerned. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and just click on virus and threat protection. Right back here, you'll see it, virus and threat protection. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to turn off a few things. So manage settings, virus and threat protection. As I said, we're going to turn it off because it does interfere with the install, and then we're going to turn it back on. So just as an easy one, I'm going to come through here and just click on real-time protection, and we're going to disable that. And we are going to come back in here as well And what we're going to do is we do have an option. Let me scroll down. Here it is, exclusions. So we're going to add or remove an exclusion. Click on that, and we're going to select yes for the UAC prompt. And under add an exclusion, we're going to select a folder, and we're going to make it that Unmineable folder that we put on the desktop. So right here, select desktop and click on Unmineable and hit select folder. So all we're doing is saying, hey, exclude this, because what happens is some of these mining files, they're not signed from a licensing perspective, and so they just throw off these red flags. There's nothing overly to be concerned about. We're going to come back in and turn this back on in just a second. All right, the other thing we're going to do is on the left-hand side, select App and Browser Control, and within here under Smart App Control, we're going to select Smart App Control Settings. Once that's done, we're going to set it to off, and we're going to get a UAC prompt. We're just going to hit yes. Now we're going to minimize this down. And we're going to open your downloads folder on your computer under downloads on the left. And we're going to right click on Unmineable and go to run as administrator. Now you're going to get the UAC prompt again. Just go ahead and click yes. And now it's going to ask, please select whether you wish to make this software available for all users. I'm going to click all user. You can do anyone who uses the computer. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to click next. Now it's going to ask us, where do we want to install this? We want to install this to the downloads or to that folder on your desktop. So under Browse, click Desktop and click Unmineable, because we added that as an exclusion to make things easier. And now we're going to click Install. Once that's finished, we're going to go ahead and do Run Unmineable. And on your desktop, you may notice you have an Unmineable program. You can always go ahead and access that as you need to. Unmineable now has, let me minimize that, now has kind of a news and details for you. You can scroll through this and read this if you're interested. We're going to click Continue. And now we're within the Unmineable program. Now you're going to get another UAC prompt. We're just going to hit allow. And right away, we need to put in our email address. This attaches that account, that website, on Unmineable, and the app, if you download the app, with the actual app on your computer. So we're going to do, for me, the Hobbyist Miner, do your own email address, and click receive a code. You'll get another code to your email address. All right, mine is 674024. There we go. I was trying to remember that. And we're going to click verify. All right, once that's done, we have a few options in here. We can just click start and just randomly jump into it if we're interested. The other avenue, if you're looking to get more into the nitty gritty, which I do recommend, go ahead and click the gear at the bottom. And this is where you can set your CPU. If you want to use that, you can select your GPU, or you can say, hey, use my CPU and my GPU. Now, this is popping up here for the news and details. I'm just going to click continue. So I went ahead, I'm going to select dual. I want to use my CPU and my GPU, and I'm going to click save. If you're interested, there is a little moon at the very top here. You can turn that on. And now I'm going to select start. Now, it's giving me an error. XM rig location is not set for the CPU mining. Please update. So we're going to click go to mining files. And what this is saying is that it's actually missing some of the files that it needs. LOL miner. There's also a few other ones in here. So we're just going to download them. They've made it very easy. Right here, we're going to click download. And it's going to ask us where do we want to put them. I'm going to select the folder. I'm going to put everything in that desktop Unmineable folder. And select folder, and now I'm going to hit start. So now it's going to download those directly into the Unmineable folder. All right, once that is finished, I'm going to click close, and we're going to hit close again. We're going to hit close again, and we're going to hit start. All right, so this is going to take quite some time. So I'm going to let this run for 1 hour, and I'm going to see you guys back here then to review some more things in detail. All right, we've been up and running for over 2 hours now. Everything's been going great. The room's a little bit warmer, I'm going to be honest with you, because, our machine has been operating at quite a high capacity. Those fans are running quite heavily now. Great for in the winter time. But taking a look at the dashboard here, you're going to see local hash rate and effective hash rate. And if you're curious on more details, there are these info bubbles here. You can read as to what the difference of them are. But let's get our virus and threat protection back on after everything's good. So hit the Windows key in the bottom and type in security. Once security comes up, we're going to select virus and threat protection. And under virus and threat protection settings, manage settings. And I turn mine back on. All you got to do is just select that toggle to turn that on, which is good. And then on the left-hand side, we're going to go over to app and browser control. and under smart app control settings, and just make sure you've moved that from off to on. That's all you have to do. So once this is all finished now, let's talk about our balances, getting paid, and swapping this up to different coins. All right, so we're back over on our Unmineable dashboard. And to get here, once again, you're just going to go to the Unmineable website, which is where we're at, and we're going to click dashboard. Now, if you got logged out, just put in your email address. It'll send you a code again, and you'll get right back to this screen here. And first thing I want to do is take a look at workers. So under workers, you're going to see on the bottom here, we have 2 workers for the same machine. You see this Unmineable miner. This is what our machine name was called in the app. I could have named this kids PC or whatnot. And then there's 2 different workers, one for the CPU and one for the GPU. And then when you come up here, there's a drop down. So you can select the drop down and then pick which worker you want to go ahead and select. You can see a little green bubble there. Those are the different algorithms. This one's on CPU. This one's on GPU over here. Jumping over to balances, this is kind of probably the most exciting and fun part of this. Everything's going to pay us out right now in USDT, stablecoin, but we don't want that. I want to get paid out, for me at least, Bitcoin, and let's do Solana. But you have 90 different types of cryptos in here that you can pick from. So you could come up here and let's say, you wanted something else in here like Ethereum. You could just start to type in Ethereum and it'll have it listed right up here. There's all different ones up here. So we're going to select Bitcoin for now. Let's say we want 50% Bitcoin. Well, we could come in here. You could select this drop down and right away we can, to see this little slider, we can move this to 50%. So now it's going to pay us out in 50% Bitcoin, 50% USDT. And I'll just hit save. Now the next thing I can do is I can come in here and I can come in and do Solana. And if you got to spell Solana right here, folks, to make it work, there we go, Solana. So I'm going to hit add, just click on there. And now Solana, I'm going to move, I'm going to take my tether and I'm actually going to get rid of the tether here. And I'm going to put this in place. So now I'm getting paid out in 50% Solana, 50% Bitcoin, and I'm going to hit save. So now do you see at the top, like it gathered some of the USDT already. That's already been it's kind of in my balance. And then we also have Solana and then we have our Bitcoin. So those will start to split there. All right, so now let's talk about withdrawing, when we do actually have a balance up in here. Now I can do this right now with my tether if I wanted to, by clicking the little arrow up top there. We can select a withdrawal address. We can just add one. And then you can select the amount. Now you can also set this up as an auto withdrawal. So you see how there's a little button here. So every time I hit a certain amount, you see the threshold. So I could say every time I hit, now I do have to add the address in there, but every time I hit 1.5 USDT, auto withdrawal it. The same thing applies up here with Bitcoin. So if I came up here, Bitcoin and Solana, I can hit the arrow there. I can put in my address and I could say every time I hit 1 Solana, auto withdrawal it. So that will allow the entire process to be fully automated for you. All right, so let's talk shop real quick. The fans are going to run significantly louder. I don't even know if you can hear the laptop one, but it's really roaring. It's going to run significantly louder. Your machine is running in overdrive, in turbo mode right now, and it's working really hard to go ahead and mine that crypto on your CPU and also on your GPU. Another thing, you're going to notice it's putting out a lot more heat. That is normal as well. The CPU and GPU are just running very hot. So those are 2 things to look for to not be overly concerned. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up this video guide of step-by-step instructions on how to use a computer to go ahead and mine cryptocurrency and earn you something like myself, Bitcoin and Solana. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please list them directly down below. And if not, go ahead and join over in the Discord and we can talk about it more. I'll leave a link to my direct Discord down below. Would love to talk crypto mining with you. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next time.